Hey, what's up, everybody out there? King JB, MMA Kingdom. Basically, we're gonna go ahead real quick and go over Fight Night 25 and Bellator 50. Just real quick, give you guys some results and a few words. Just touch on a few things in terms of that, real quick. First of all, big shout out to all my sponsors out there: MMAMadhouse.com, Gorilla MMA, Monsters Fight Gear, and WhatYourFight.com. Man, big ups to you guys. Got a few more sponsors. Obviously, I'll show you guys love, so you guys know what it is. With that being said, it's time to go ahead and get into Fight Night 25. With the prelims, Justin Edwards beat George Lopez by unanimous decision. Robert Peralta did beat Mike Lulo by decision. TJ Walderberger got the submission triangle choke win over Mike Stump. Seth Baczynski beat Clay Harbison by a rear naked choke submission. That was kind of a shock to a lot of people. Some people picked it, some people didn't. Ken Stone beat Donnie Walker by technical submission. Big ups to Donnie Walker. He wasn't bound to just tap out. Obviously, he didn't. But big ups to Ken Stone there. Lance Benoist, I told you guys, was going to stay undefeated. He beat Matthew Riddle by decision. Evan Dunham beat my boy Shamar Bailey by decision. Shamar just couldn't get his shit together. I'm really saddened by that. I'm a big Shamar Bailey guy. But I think he'll come back. I think he'll get it together and he'll come back strong. He just couldn't stand with Evan Dunham, obviously. And Evan Dunham had great takedown defense. So big ups to Evan Dunham for his big win. And Shamar Bailey will be back strong after this loss. Wagner Roca beat Cody McKenzie by submission, rear naked choke. I called it. I think in a lot of ways, Cody McKenzie is just far too confident with his submission game due to the fact that he has all these guillotine submissions. He doesn't really realize that, submitting 12 locals is completely different than submitting 12 Brazilians. You see what I'm saying? It's not quite that easy. So, obviously, we're starting to see Cody McKenzie starting to hit the wall now that he's got some real competition. Moving on to the main card. Alan Belcher came back after like 18 months to get the big win over Jason McDonald by submission verbally due to strikes. Not a surprise. I think a lot of people thought Alan Belcher would come back strong, and he definitely did. He's still one of the top fighters in the division, no question. Jason McDonald, there's been a lot of talk, and maybe rightly so, that maybe it's time for Jason McDonald to go ahead and give it up. He's been around quite some time. I think he's got 40 fights in, maybe 45. He's been doing it for a long time, and just be honest, I don't see him getting a title shot anytime soon. I believe he's 37 years old. He wants to keep his correctional officer job, and his 5-year leave of absence is up. So I think this may be the last time we see Jason McDonald inside the UFC octagon. I told you guys Jonathan Brookins was overrated. I believe so. He looked a little better, but not much. He still drops his hands. Eric Koch, I think, I'm a little disappointed in Eric Koch by not finishing it. I think he should have got the finish. I just think Koch and Brookins is on two different levels. But Koch still got the victory by unanimous decision. Court McGee, Mr. Delphine himself, I'm not a big fan of his work. He did get the win over Donkey Yang, unanimous decision. I actually wasn't too impressed with the fight. I'm not too fond of Court McGee, as many of you guys already know. Jake Ellenberger, I told you, I called it. I've been predicting shit left and right these days. He did defeat Jake Shields by TKO is what they're calling it, first round. He came in, got it done in less than a minute. I told you guys Ellenberger would get him. Ellenberger was a guest on MMA Affiliates Radio. Big ups to Jake Ellenberger. I told you guys, man, Jake Shields saying that he didn't remember him was a big mistake. That he didn't know who he was a big mistake. Jake Ellenberger is definitely at the top of 170. I think he's ready, possibly even above Nick Diaz. Let's be real. Ellenberger's been in the UFC getting his wins. But with that being said, that's going to be the end of UFC Fight Night 25. Obviously, this weekend we got UFC 134. UFC 135. All of us are pretty geeked to see that. Now moving on, we're going to get the Bellator 50 results here. Let me type them up and get them for you guys. Obviously. Alright, here we go. Obviously, Bellator 50, this was one of the cards I was definitely not too happy about. I wasn't too excited about seeing this one. You know, I don't want to fight or bash, or I don't want to knock anybody. This just wasn't a good card. But then again, they were going up against the UFC. I highly doubted they were going to really try to put their best guys out there. J.P. Reese beat Martin Brown by decision. Cristiano Souza beat John Kelly by decision. Brett Cooper got the TKO win over Valdir Arohu in round 3. Elton Barboza beat Ryan Keenan by submission rear naked choke. Radley Martinez making his Bellator debut got the unanimous decision win over Brian Van Hoven. Let's see, what's next? Let's see here, what was the main card? We got Victor Viana. He got by Sam Alvey in close split decision. Let's see, we have Brian Rogers. He got a TKO win in under 2 minutes over Victor O'Donnell. Shlemenko. Let's see, Shlemenko. Okay, Brian Baker, as we all know, he fought Jared Hess. He ended up getting the win. TKO 252. Third round. Third round. Sorry about that. Yep, he got that win, and I'm still looking at the second fight. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Anyway, Shlemenko got the win over Zel Galesic 90 seconds into the round. Anyway, like I said, I wasn't very big on this entire card. A lot of people say Shlemenko deserves to be in the UFC at 41-7. I don't necessarily agree that. Sorry for kind of my stuttering there with the Bellator card. Like I said, the entire card other than Brian Baker and Rad Martinez, I really wasn't interested in seeing anyone else. So this obviously wasn't my best review in that. Just, for having two MMA events this Saturday night, I wasn't too into it. I don't think we really had anything to brag about. Obviously, next weekend will be a lot different. But with that, the main thing I was excited for was Jake Ellenberger and Jake Shields, and obviously we saw my prediction come to fruition. Jake Ellenberger definitely probably a top five welterweight in the world now. Can you guys deny it? I don't know. Anyway, that's what's up with Fight Night 24 or 25, and of course Bellator 50. With that being said, I'm out of here, King JB. Check me out at MMAKingdom.com. You know what time it is.